Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Shadia here, back with another episode of self-help, wellness, and everything that falls in that category. And today, I am going to talk about communication. We've been born in an era where the internet is a thing, and I love the internet. Like, I love the internet. It just makes everything easier. I love the internet, but for some reasons, we are using the internet for like the very wrong ways. I mean, they're not like very wrong, but the internet has killed a lot of things, and we are not realizing that because we are busy appreciating what the internet is doing for us. And my main issue today is communication. I mean, we have forsaken communication so much. People no longer communicate with other people like face to face. I mean, you just wake up every day and text someone, "Good morning, how are you doing, how are you?" And it is done. It is completely done. Like, we no longer care. And I say we because I'm a victim of this. I do these things all the time, but I'm working on myself, and I hope you work on yourself too. So, I mean, it is no longer important to just, meet up with someone and ask them what's going on with their lives, or talk to them and, get to know what is really, really going on. I mean, when you just text someone, when you comment on their picture they posted on Instagram, when you think it is done. We no longer call people like to hear what they are going through. I mean, it's all about texting, it's all about Snapchat, it's all about, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like we should bring back the conservative kind of communication where we should meet up with people, talk to them, because trust me, when you talk to someone face to face, it is easier for them to open up to you than when you just text them, "How are you?" I mean, when you text me, "How are you?" I'm gonna tell you I'm fine, even when I'm not really, really fine. You know, I can pour out my heart to you via a text. It is really, really difficult. And most of the time, people need help. Most of the time, people need people to talk to. But we've buried all that. I mean, we just like, I will text her, I will text her, I'll do this, I'll do that. I feel like it is so important to, meet up with people. Yeah, I understand we are busy. Yeah, the world is busy, guys, very busy. But I mean, find a time, find an hour, 30 minutes, and meet up for lunch. Use that lunch break to connect with someone, to really find out what's going on with them. I mean, share the good news, share. I mean, it is even so important to just share some great energy with people. I mean, just texting and all that is not enough, people. We should go back to the days where you could just meet up with everyone and ask them what's going on and talk to people and, be advised and all that. I mean, if you are too busy, at least call. People no longer even call. Like, "Oh, I will FaceTime you. Oh, I'll do this. Oh, I mean, call someone, and just find out how they're doing. I mean, communication is really, really, really key. I mean, in every situation, in friendships, in relationships, uh, you know, because there are a lot of grudges where people think they communicated, but because you didn't let someone know what you were talking about, they didn't understand you. So it is just important to communicate to someone, to make them understand you from your own perspective, and also make someone understand your part. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you can't make someone, like, people interpret text differently. People like differently. You gotta text someone something and they're gonna perceive something else, and they will assume something else, and you meant something else. You know what I'm talking about? So I mean, let's get to bring back the communication thread where you could talk to someone and make them understand your point clearly. you know Also, I feel like we should stop communicating through people. Like, if you want to talk to someone, if you want to pass a message to someone, I feel like you should do it to yourself, because all the time, most of the time, all the time, 100%, no one is going to deliver your message the way you wanted it delivered. And that is where the misunderstandings come from, because what you sent is not what someone else received. So the other person at the other end won't get your point. You know what I'm talking about? And I mean, the interpretation will be totally different. I mean, communication should be something, should be wide. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I mean, if you want someone to get the message you want to send them, like make it clear to them, and do not assume someone is going to get the message the way you meant it if it is not clear enough for them to understand it. So I mean, create a space where someone else can ask questions to understand what you are talking about better. That way there won't be a lot of, like, beefing, a lot of misunderstandings, because when you communicate pretty well, the information will be, or the message will be conveyed well, and there won't be any kind of misunderstandings. And the only way we can do that, if you talk to someone face to face, you talk to someone in person, or you call someone, because that way there is space to ask questions and answer, and the other part will answer. You know what I'm talking about? Also, communication. I mean, we are so buried in the internet that we forget to communicate to people. We forget to check on people, how they are doing. We no longer care, guys. I mean, when you post something, you think someone is gonna know, oh, you are going through this, you are going through that, but I'm gonna take your post differently. And no one posts their failures, no one posts their traumas. People are always gonna post their flashlights, their good stories. So try to communicate with people, try to call people to understand, like, okay, behind this post, behind this flashness, okay, you're doing well on Instagram, are you doing well in person? Like, are you doing well? Are your finances okay? Are you emotionally okay? Are you spiritually okay? Because these are the things you can see via internet posts. You can't. So it is so important to just take a further step and try to find out how people are doing. Also, if it is you're not doing okay, reach out to people, communicate to people, like, talk to people about your situation, because at the end of the day, you can't go through this life journey alone. You need help. We all need help. So if you need help, just communicate to people, let people know that you need help, let people know that you could use some help. It is as simple as that. Let's just stop thinking that, oh, the internet can finish it all. Actually stop even lying to yourself. Communicate with yourself and ask yourself, am I doing as pretty much as my Instagram feed looks, as my tweet looks, as my snap stories look? Am I doing as great as that? I mean, like, communicate with yourself, figure it out with yourself. And if you are not doing well, I mean, then take a break from things. Take a break and find out that I need to communicate to people, I need to let people in my life. And don't even stress about the internet, people. I mean, I know people who stress so much to have something to post on the internet. I know for some people it pays their bills. It's like a job, it's work. But even if it's what pays your bills, you can take a break from it to to just cleanse, to just come back to refreshen up and all that. I mean, communication is a good thing, and it will just revamp you. Communicate with people, and I mean, and if people are communicating to you, with you, open up. I mean, and try to understand that someone else is not gonna perceive the message the way you intended to get it to them. So if there needs some explanation, go ahead and explain to them what you actually meant. And before you even get mad at someone, also ask questions like, did you mean this way? You know, like, did you mean it in a way that would hurt me? Did you, because most of the times we hurt by other people's sort of messages or other people's actions when they didn't even mean to hurt us. So it is so important to ask someone, like, okay, what was going on with you? Like, what happened? What's wrong? Instead of just getting mad, you interpreted someone's actions the way you wanted to interpret them, and now you're full of whatever you're full of, and someone else is like, okay, I didn't mean to hurt you, I didn't mean my actions to be taken that way. So communication is the key. If you do not understand something, if you do not understand someone's actions, if you do not entirely understand something, make sure to ask. Make sure to ask, like, and if someone asks, answer the question. Also call people, let people know how you're doing, and know how people are doing. I mean, yeah, so that was it for today's video, guys. It was just me rambling and just talking about communication. But I know because of failure to communicate, because of poor communication, a lot of friendships have ended, a lot of relationships, or a lot of work acquaintances, a lot of things have ended because the communication was not all that good. So to everyone watching this video, work on your communication, guys. And yeah, I wish you a lovely day, a lovely evening. I love you guys so much. Yeah, remember to subscribe, guys, like, and always comment.